Getting itself ready. Hello, and welcome to the November Mayoral Community Forum. I'm Mayor Cashenna A. Cross from the city of Glenarden. These mayoral community forums are set to be an encouragement and to build an advocacy for residents and citizens in need of resources. It is also a critical members society of mayors, and this will allow us to reach our maximum potential through greater independence, productivity, and increase the awareness of various solutions and inclusion needs across our communities. Today, we are happy to have online with us two mayors, Mayor Kelly Porter and Mayor Petrella Robinson. And we are happy to start our discussion because this is an absolutely wonderful month. The month of November is Municipal Government Works Month. So in the Municipal Government Works Month, it was started in 1993. Maryland cities and towns have celebrated Municipal Government Works Month each November. This is an effort for us to promote citizens' awareness and the interests of the government in our communities. As you know, Prince George's County is made up of 27 municipalities. And throughout those municipalities, we each year take to the schools and we will visit all of the schools of the 4th grade, some 27,000 students and their teachers, and we encourage them to bring awareness to municipal government and how they can actually be a participant in their government. So just for a brief moment, I would like the mayors online just to introduce themselves and the cities they represent. Mayor Porter?
Well, I'm Mayor Kelly Porter. I represent, City of Excellence. We're going to stay with that handle. City of Sea Pleasant, Maryland, and I'm happy that we're having this forum. Okay, and I look forward to future conversations with the mayors as they get more acclimated to what it is we're doing or you're doing with this forum. So, glad to be here.
Welcome, Mayor Porter. Mayor Petrella Robinson.
Yes, I'm Mayor Petrella Robinson. I have been mayor of the town of North Brentwood since 2007. So I'm glad to be here. I've been in with Maryland Municipal League and the mayors for a long time. And I'm just glad that we're having this discussion this evening about Maryland Government Works Month.
Thank you so much. And then we have a guest here online. Do you want to introduce yourself? Under Crossland?
Oh, you called me a guest?
It's listed. I know you're not Dr. Crossland.
I'm Robert Crossland, Mayor of Hyattsville.
Okay, all right. There we go. Robert Crossland.
Yes.
There we are. Let me make this connection.
Okay. You got a Dr. Crossland in there?
I do, but that's not it.
That must be my cousin.
It may be.
Down in Virginia, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Is that your cousin for real?
Yes.
Fantastic. So talk to us about it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, sir, and what you who you represent.
Tell you something about me. Okay. I'm Robert Crossland. I am a goldsmith and artist. And I'm a mayor of Hyattsville, and I've lived in Hyattsville for 34 years. We raised 2 kids here. One of them is on the Prince George's committee. Chike Crossland. I don't know if you folks know him. Yes, and the other one, my daughter, works for the state of Maryland in human resources. My wife is a physician, and a retired physician, although she's working right now, but that's where we are.
Fantastic. Thank you. Welcome, Mayor Crossland. I have to tell her something. She's got one in on me. I'm going to follow up with her too.
Who's that?
So we have Mayor Nimhart who's come on. Mayor Nimhart, if you can introduce yourself and who you represent.
Hi, my name is Man Felisa Nemhard, and I represent the city of New Carrollton.
Welcome, mayors. So wonderful to have you on. So we did a brief introduction about the Municipal Government Works Month, the month of November. And in Municipal Government Works Month, we are actively showcasing how our municipal governments are working. So at this time, let's go through just some of our activities that are fostering goodwill and educating our youth about municipal government. So what are you going to do this year in Hyattsville to educate our fourth graders about municipal government? Mayor Crossland.
Well, I don't know. I have a meeting to go to. I guess I would call it a meeting, but it's greeting the elementary school students. One of them was elected president of their of their student council in elementary school. Catch that one, okay? So I'm going to go over and congratulate that person and have a few words with them.
Oh, that's wonderful. My daughter ran for secretary, for treasurer, actually didn't win, but then she ran such a strong campaign. They said, would you like to be secretary? So she was secretary for 2 years in elementary school. My youngest daughter, on the other hand, did not run for office.
Not yet.
But she did join the band. Mayor Porter, what are you planning on doing?
Well, typically, I've been involved in going with the students for a number of years with reference to a fire mayor contest. And typically, I go and visit the class, talk about city government and what it means for me to be the mayor. And then I try to solicit some participation from the students as to what they think would make an effective leader. Okay. From that, I glean a little program to give them a little something for allowing me to come in and take up a little bit of their space and their time to educate them about how leadership works in the city, and to find out whether or not they have some interest, okay, in doing that, and to get them in the right kind of mode for looking at the essays that they're going to put together. So that's typically what I've been doing this for a number of years, okay, and look forward to. I tell them I look forward to reading all the good things they have to help me be a more effective leader. So.
And I like how you said that, help me, because really out of the mouths of babies comes this true ingenuity, and it's so genuine and just pure. And it's the common sense method, you know. We put a lot of,
No question about it.
Yep.
Yes, yes. Mayor Robinson, what do you have planned, ma'am?
Well, we always go to, I've been in this for a while, and we always go to the schools. One of them is Thomas Stone Elementary School and Mount Rainier Elementary School. I do not have a school in my jurisdiction, but my children in North Brentwood do go to Mount Rainier Elementary, and they do go to Thomas Stone Elementary. So the mayors from Mount Rainier and the mayors from Brentwood and North Brentwood come together and visit our fourth graders in each one of those schools, and to tell them a little bit about municipal government. They seem to be a kind of shocked to know that mayors, that they're meeting a mayor, and mayors are great people to them. Fourth graders, mayors are really, really great people. Now, and I know we do. We work so hard and do our diligent work as mayors and everything, but they really look up to us, and that makes you feel real good when they look up to you. But we have we talk about what the municipal government is about and what the mayors do and what their council does for each of their towns. But I really was looking forward to doing a mock mayor and town council meeting through Zoom if we could. We did it before when we were meeting in person before the pandemic. We had did a mock mayor and town council meeting, and the fourth graders were deciding on if they wanted a playground at this a vacant lot, or do they want to plant trees at the vacant lot? There were many discussions on why we should have trees because of water and flooding, but there was also a lot of discussion about why we can't have a good playground so we can play. So this year, I think we're talking about a Zoom meeting and see if we can get them in to talk about recycling, maybe recycling or how to, who do we want to do our recycling, what company, or how do we get bids out there to do our recycling, or who can we be in touch with to do that? So hopefully that will work. And it probably won't be until after Thanksgiving. I think we've decided on November the 30th to have this Zoom meeting so we could prepare and have some of the fourth graders from Mount Rainier and Thomas Stone be available to set up a scenario.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Mayor Nimhart, what are you planning to do?
Well, I started out when I was on the city council with the community engagement committee. So I've been doing it for a while, trying to get even when I wasn't the mayor, to get the children engaged in to do these, if I were a mayor contest. Since I became mayor, what we have done is to engage the kids, even though we had in-person meetings and by Zoom. What we did was to create an interest into getting everybody excited. So I had books that was dedicated to the kids that participated into the program. Just kind of give them a little bit of guidance of how to engage themselves during the COVID, and little rhymes and stuff. And they were really intrigued by it. But then we also had like a little storytelling before we kind of enhanced the theme of the If I Were a Mayor contest. So we'll go to the different schools and we'll create the topic. And then we also make whoever wins internally to be the mayor of the day. And we invite them to the city council meeting to pretty much run the meeting. They get to sit in the office, take pictures around the desk, and be the mayor for that day. And also what we do from time to time is give a little bit of trinkets to the kids that participated the year prior, which would be now the 5th graders, and to also treat the kids who are in the 3rd grade, get them excited to want to be into the 4th grade. Just to help bring the education piece a little bit elevated to get to the 4th grade. So now I have packages that we made from Halloween to hand deliver to those kids that did the contest last contest period, and we're going to treat them so the other kids will get excited. With that being said, we also gave, I was able to share with them what it is in the day-to-day operations of a mayor and the different types of government that we have: strong mayor, weak mayor, council, form of government, all that kind of stuff. And you would be surprised at the amount of questions and energy that the kids had. So I want to keep that up. Hopefully, this time we'll have another in-person meeting so we can get to see the kids firsthand, sitting around table and have great discussions. But I'm hoping to get a whole bunch of essays like we did the last time.
That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Do you mind if I add something?
Sure.
About what we did that I didn't mention?
Sure.
Years ago, when I was running for council, one of the ideas was to actually have a student city council, of high school student city council, where they can elect their own representatives and their own mayor. And they will come to the council and give us a report, let us know what they think. And I think, all of you have made some excellent points here. I mean, we need to hear what they have to say. Okay, so we had a student advisory council, which turned out to be really nice. And we had some folks to come in from different professions to let them know what the different professions are and help them with their studies. And The problem was that that we had with this is that the students that we would get would be either juniors or seniors, and they're trying to go to college, they're trying to write their essays and that kind of thing, and they didn't really have time to focus on this. And so we're bringing it back. We have one council member on that has some great ideas on how to expand this program. And so we're going to be bringing that back, and perhaps we'll go for younger students, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh, I love it. I love all of these ideas. And I'll tell you, last year I was very fortunate to get out to one of our local elementary schools and actually presented a presentation. And I will tell you that it was only supposed to be 30 minutes, but after about 35 to 40 minutes, the principal said, okay, if the teacher's okay with letting you continue, we just continued through the end of class with some very relevant questions about how difficult it is, and what are the challenges, and how can they be an active participant in resolving some of the issues. So this year, I will tell you that being a part of the committee that is formulating this challenge for the coming year, the engagement and outreach team, we did meet back in September, and we had a wonderful meeting that literally, I think this year's challenge is going to prove to be one of good character, good citizenry, and bigger than just what is a problem. It's how much do you know, and how much you know, and how much that can change the future. So we're asking them to dig a little deeper, not just the surface problems that we all see, which is recycling, which is our environmentals, which is our healthcare, the normal things that we see on the news, but to start thinking about those good citizenry things that will build tomorrow's leaders. So we are very excited about this coming If I Were Mayor contest. And I think mayors, you'll find it to be quite exciting. Maryland Municipal League was founded in 1936, and the municipal governments essentially at that time had 2 special taxing districts throughout the state. So as a voluntary nonprofit, nonpartisan association controlled and maintained by the cities and the towns and the governments of which the league is made up of. So you note that 157 of us are now working together as Municipal Government Works Month to continue this legacy. And there's a hint, legacy. And what does legacy mean for the future? So as we get ready for the If I Were Mayor contest, we will be looking at the representation of the future urban research, and we'll also be looking at what programs, national as well as municipal government programs, are informing the very exchanges that we're having every day. So pretty excited about this coming year's program. Consider this though. If we are public officials at the local government level, most of the time it's your mayors that get blamed.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why this program came about, so that the students will learn at what level the mayors actually operate and what levels the mayors don't operate in, and that they will be able to properly funnel complaints throughout their city. To note that there are other departments like Department of Public Works, Department of Safety, as well in cities that help us all, like to say, make the world go round. So we're pretty excited about that. Now, when it comes down to the Maryland, are you doing proclamations for the Maryland Government Works Month? And also, I will say this, that there is a hashtag MGW Wednesday. We're supposed to hashtag. So I'll be sure and hashtag our meeting to let the MML know that us mayors are on our job getting the city and the citizens and the students ready for the If I Were Mayor contest, because we want to bring it home to Prince George's County this year. We would love to have one of our winners come here from Prince George's County.
Definitely.
Yes.
So how do these kids apply for this?
So online, there will be a registration that's sent out to each school. And essentially, the principal as well as the history teacher will fill out a singular form. All the students will be given an opportunity to write to the program, and then all of the program's forms will be scanned in as one and then emailed back. So in order to get into the program, the winners essentially are sent through their school that is recommending them.
Okay, so let me just understand. Are these applications going to be sent directly to the schools? Going to be sent to the cities to send to the schools?
Traditionally, they send them out to the schools, but this year, we can go that's one of the reasons why the mayors are so important, because we have to make sure that our teachers and our schools are aware that this program is out here. It's a digital contest, essentially. So it can come out digitally to every school, and it comes out through the school system particularly. But last year, when I got the notification, I just sent it back out to my schools again to make sure that it was on the top of the mailbox. But it is a digital contest to ensure that every school gets it.
So will we get a notification when those are sent out to the schools in our city?
We will get a notification. MML will send out notifications to all the mayors so that you'll know that it's on the streets and it's time for us to actually conduct the contest. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I'd like to interject, Mayor Robinson.
Yes.
At each municipality, you will get your own packet and will get your own poster that says "If I Were Mayor" contest, and it will have all the instructions there. What I've seen in the past is that that fourth grade, when you visit that fourth grade, make that appointment with that fourth grade teacher and principal to come and present. There used to be a topic, and I don't know if they're doing a topic this year or not, because there's a planning committee that does that. If I were mayor, and that topic, and they will give you the topic, give the fourth graders the topic, and they will write their entry. And I've been in the once they write their entry and they submit it, I've been in at MML room reading each one of those selections that they brought in from all over the schools in Maryland, and it is just something to really open your eyes up to see the imaginary and the openness of their minds that they have, and writing, and it's very strict about English and spelling and things like that, because the fourth grade teachers are really there to help them, but to make sure, and their parents, to help to make sure that the grammar is right, that the punctuation is right. So that is a learning experience for the fourth graders, and just the imagination that they have is just amazing. And so, and they'll ask people like us and others to come and say, do you have time to come and read? And so, and we do that, and you spend a couple of hours there, or 2 or 3 hours, and you can spend as long as you want there reading and listening to those students who have the brightest ideas. And sometimes it makes you think, well, why didn't we think of that? but it's amazing. So the If I Were Mayor contest has come a long way under MML, and I'm so proud of our fourth graders throughout Maryland.
Mm-hmm. And you're right, Mayor Robinson, that's correct. You will get that poster at every municipality. But we also want to make sure, I believe that it's not going to be until the January timeframe that we push this out. But Ms. Paula Chase Heyman over there at the Maryland Municipal League, part of the members program there, she actually has crafted the final document. It will be themed again this year. I don't want to give the theme away just yet until they're ready to give the theme, but I will tell you it's a rich and vibrant theme that should bring in some very diverse responses. You know, normally we would have a theme that's tied around municipal buildings and structures and environmental protection. This theme this year really is going to make the students think a little bit. And it's very unique to each of the municipalities as to how the student may respond based on how the theme is worded. So I'm pretty excited about that. Looking forward to it as well. But you're absolutely right. You're going to get the poster and everything like that. And something else we talked about is, and prepare yourselves for this, is adding on to the Maryland, My State, My Home video. I know that we had a limited amount of budget. When we did the video last year, it was quite beautiful. When we did all of the districts, one of the questions that I asked during our meeting is if we can expand on that video and maybe encompass a little bit more of the municipalities, you know, of the 157 municipalities. So we are actively looking for and actually have and is building a video team that can help us actually expand upon those beautiful sets of recordings from last year. Because I thought that was fantastic to show, you know, the rich heartland of Maryland. So one of the things that many of our citizens have been asking us about is the tax bills that have come out. Has anybody gotten questions on the tax bills from your particular municipalities?
No, all I hear is that people want their taxes lower. I don't care what your taxes are, they always want it lower.
Well, Mayor Cross, I know for us here in New Carlton, the residents are happy because since I became mayor, I've been using the constant yield rate to make sure that all the homeowners in New Carlton can get a little bit of tax break, if it's even a couple cents. So that's one thing that I've been doing, and most time they're saying, well, I didn't see it on my bill, but they have to remember it's going to take until they get the next tax bill before they see whatever you put in place for this fiscal year. So they, you know, with the taxes going up in the county, it is kind of overshadowing whatever the constant yield rate discount is for the city portion of the taxes. But as Mayor Clausen said, they always want to ask, how can we lower the tax rate in the city? So that's one thing I chose to do when I ran for mayor, and I hold myself true to what I say I'm going to do. So I've been using a constant yield rate, and I know for the staff, they said, well, this is your third year and you're not going to be able to do it this time. And I did it again. So this is going to be the third year in a row that we have used the constant yield rate.
So why did they say that you weren't going to be able to do it? Did they give you an explanation for that?
Because then that's when you got more money to spread around the departments to use for, it could be for raises, promotions, purchases, whatever else that money could do. And it's a sizable amount of money. So yes, it takes a dip into the budget. And most time, by the time you get the constant yield rate, you have to readjust the budget that you have already balanced and cut some things from right across the various departments. So they're not going to be happy. But for me, it is the citizens are the ones that, while we're here, they're the ones that are paying our taxes, are paying for us, or salary, sorry. So therefore, I have to make sure what we promise is what we deliver. Yeah,
our issue is we have some council members who come up with new programs that cost money, and they want to cut taxes at the same time. It doesn't really work that well.
No, it doesn't work well that way. But then the other thing too is only because of the former government that we have here in New Carlton being a strong mayor, I can make that decision on my own and then present that budget to the council for approval. So I've been using the constant yield rate because it gives me that luxury to make that decision.
And that's true. We used the constant yield rate as well, and we did not vote to change our constant yield rate. So we held it at the 2022 number. So the constant yield rate is one that you know, it is what you said, Mayor Crossland. When you are holding it low, you really can't do any new programming. And if you do new programming, then you will have to suffer that out of some other pot of money, essentially. But we did maintain our constant yield rate. Also, the homestead tax credit is something else that has been giving us a lot of concerns. If we have the cap at 5%, as it has been in previous years, or do you want to go up? Essentially, you know, your local tax authorities utilizing this homestead tax credit can then, for that particular season, increase the assessment value of the previous year. And then for Glenarden, you know, we're looking at 3.68%. And in this case, then, if you look at that, then your homestead tax credit availability would increase just a little bit. But one of the things that we're looking at is if we increase that assessment value to 8%, then we would have Glenarden and Prince George's would have that homestead tax credit of 3%, but then there would not be a homestead credit for the state of Maryland. So, I mean, it's been a lot of different concerns about this homestead tax credit, and a lot of our residents are now seeing their tax bills, and we're asking those questions. Is it reasonable, in fact, that we have in an inflated economy, would we recommend that, you know, our cap stays at 5%? And I believe that's where we are going to stay based on the current billing, that we stay at that 5% as with previous years, regardless of the increase of the assessment values that are coming. So how do you?
Of course, there's been controversy over reference to how we do our rate and so forth, but specifically with our commercial rate as opposed to our residential. And we are working with that, okay, sort of keeping and not being very vocal about it until we're able to do the things we need to do. I had some conversations, but that's something that we've kept our rate as far as the citizens are concerned constantly consistent for many years. Most of what we've done, we put that anything as far as any addition on the commercial base, which comes into community, and they make money, okay? Whether or not they put money back into it depends upon how they actually put money back into the city, okay? Which way they go about doing it. Oftentimes you talk about what actually comes into your city as to the types of businesses and those same things of that nature, which is what we have a concern with right now. And that's going to be a topic of discussion, okay, certainly for the corridors that run along Central Avenue and Martin Luther King. And that's going to be a matter of discussion too, and you all will probably hear about that. I'm going to say to you that I got to go back to the workstation that I told you about a little bit beyond that particular time, but whatever you speak on with reference to how you deal with your taxes, with any other thing that come to there in this conversation, please pass that. I look forward to having that information passed on to me. And I appreciate this. Hopefully in the future, with reference to these particular talks, I'll be able to stay for the entire time period. So good night to you all. And if I can get Ms. Cross, I can get to you and so forth, Mayor, and you can give me some additional information. I greatly appreciate it.
Yes,
good evening
sir.
to the rest of the folks that are on the call, and I look forward to talking with you all soon.
Thank you, Mayor Porter.
Mayor Porter, before you go, remember to reserve for our mixer. Mayors.
There you go. I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Be safe at work.
Thank you.
So the homestead tax credit, you have to apply for this. And this is something that citizens need to be aware that you do have to file an application. And then I was looking at, so why would you want to file an application? It's because some property owners may improperly receive credit on vacation homes and rented properties as well. So the county and municipal governments had been losing their tax revenues for these particular services. So now everybody has to apply and submit an application for it. And then there were a couple of questions said, well, I thought I had already filed an application, but the homestead application status indicates no application. So then the state of Maryland is like, well, apply again.
Well, I think the legislation, the legislation, I think it was in 2007, and it wanted homeowners to they're supposed to submit one-time application for the homestead tax credit. And it limits the amount of assessment increase on a homeowner will pay on property taxes on annually. But it is for your principal residence. As I understand, it is for only your principal residence. Okay, it cannot be for your vacation homes. If your principal residence in Maryland, it's just you have one principal residence, and so and you should be able to apply. Like you bought a new property, you have to apply for that new property. If you bought a new home, you have to apply for that. But it should continue onward through each year, and you should be able to get that tax credit. Now, municipal taxes are, as we said, a little bit different, and the town of North Brentwood has not increased its municipal taxes since and probably about, I think it's been about 6 or 7 years, or even maybe longer. It looks like we will, and it looks like we will increase it because everything's going up. I mean, your trash pickup is going up, your recycling, everything. The inflation has put us into another level, and we have to pay for our services. So in order to pay for your services, then you have to increase taxes. I make it very, very clear to my citizens. I'm one of those citizens. I have a home too. I have to pay the same thing. But I really want citizens to realize that municipal government leaders try to do the best that they can and work with what they have, and to get as much as they can, grants and bond bills and everything else to help sustain their municipalities. But sometimes you're going to have to increase it. And I think North Brentwood is going to be one of the times that North Brentwood will have to increase the taxes, because everything else is going up. The dumping fees go up. Once you have trash collection, your dumping fees go up. So everything, inflation has put us in another bag. I hate to say it, but I would have to pay it because I'm a resident too. So it is, what it is, and we hope. But I think this year also they passed the law that next year is it 2023 or 2024, that 20% decrease on taxes for the seniors will go into effect.
That's right.
That was one of the laws. Is that right? Does any American?
I think that's the state law.
That's the state law. It's 2020 that it will decrease 20% for seniors. Yep. So we give kudos to the General Assembly who's done that. You know what I mean? Because the seniors need the breaks. And but I do want, I cannot stress enough that in order to get the services, sometimes you have to increase those taxes.
Oh yeah, it's no question. People want stuff, they just don't want to pay for it. That's all.
That's right.
And we have issues. I mean, we have a lot of capital projects going on now, and building materials have skyrocketed.
Yep.
And so what the proposal was years ago, and it takes years to do these things. And what original proposal was, now it's doubled.
Yeah.
Now it's costing us twice as much. Okay. And then when you run a city, it always costs more the next year than it did the year before. You have people who want to retire. You have people who want more benefits. They want to raise. All that stuff comes in. We haven't changed our tax rate in years. Okay. So it's not that we're raising the tax rate. It's that the property values have increased.
They have very much so. And everybody.
And that's a good point.
Yeah, everybody needs to know, and everybody does know. I mean, our residents do know. I mean that the assessments are up, the property values are up. It makes a difference. It really, really does.
Yeah. So we're struggling with it. We have down in Heights, we have $1 million homes. It's crazy. So and we're struggling to try to figure out how to do affordable housing.
So I did look up one of those the assessments. It says the real property assessments and appeals State Department of Assessment and Taxation, Real Property Assessments and Appeals. And this was sponsored by Delegate Ampry. And it's enacted essentially reoccurring the State Department Assessment and Taxation to publish certain information, plain language relating to the assessment process. So like what we're doing here on this Mayoral Community Forum is we're trying to break it down. But as you can see, even at that level, this is at the governor's house right now for signature. The process, the methodology used to determine the value of real property, like what you're saying, Mayor Crossland, as we get more development, economic development around our communities, of course, the property value is going to go up. And I can just look at Woodmore Town Center at Glenarden, and from when we purchased those houses in 2015 to present, I mean, it's a substantial amount of equity that's been earned just over the last 5 years based on the amount of development and also the county seat, coming into Largo, portions of it. There's a lot of movement going here in the county.
Yeah.
So for the real property, allowing certain authorities to consider the criteria and appeal the valuation of real property. So that's a really key point. Appeal the valuation of property.
Yeah, and we get a lot of appeals, but we have now, these folks who bought these $1 million homes are complaining about their taxes. Nobody told them to pay $1 million for their house, but they
well, that's the problem, though, Mayor Crossland. It's like when they bought the house, it could have been $700,000. It's a $1 million house now, and that's only going to get more and more and more as we get the greater development. We got the regional medical center here. We got the mental health center coming. We've got tons of new multifamily duplex properties that are coming in, and you're getting a lot of wealth coming in from, Lower Virginia, DC, coming into Maryland, right? Gorgeous Prince George's is booming. So
yeah, well, I just wanted to tell you that these folks bought these houses at $1 million.
Oh,
They didn't buy it at 700 and went to $1 million. They bought it at $1 million. They saw the price tag.
Oh man. Oh, let me tell you, we are definitely going to have to, as mayors, be on the lookout for, opportunities to support, because one of the things that like COVID taught us is that, we took the economic buyout. A lot of folks took the economic buyout during the COVID time. We're only just a sneeze away from, a lot of trouble when it comes down to these housing markets.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're right, Mayor Robinson, when you talk about how much gas prices and the different things that are happening, fuel and delivery, even trash is going up. We looked at our trash assessment. We actually had an increase as the city. So that's something definitely we'll have to keep on the forefront for protecting our citizens. But also I want to acknowledge this other bill that I saw coming out of the House. Well, actually, it's gone through both chambers. It's now sitting at the governor's house. Governor Westmore get to take care of this.
I like that. I like that sound.
Governor Westmore, congratulations to the governor.
Congrats.
Lieutenant Governor Miller, congratulations.
Absolutely.
How exciting. So this next one is property tax and renters property tax relief program. So there's an application period for that relief program that they have to have for within 3 years of the calendar year from which the property tax relief is being sought. So authorizing the State Department of Assessments and Taxation to accept an application for a property tax relief program for renters. So I'm pretty excited about, what Annapolis is doing, because they're looking at what we're looking at. All right, with the amount of development and the strength of our economies growing, we really are going to have to start taking care of the people that's on the ground now. So they're really doing great things, not only looking at the property taxes, but also looking at the renters' property taxes. Because again, you're renting, and we used to be a landlord for a long, long time, houses in San Antonio and Illinois. We sold those houses when we came here because we said, we found our home, we're going to save some roots. But honestly, those houses really doubled in value by the time we got ready to get rid of them. So it's just something to be aware of. The renters the landlord essentially is going to push back onto the renter those assessments. And so therefore, if you're used to paying $700 and the property taxes goes up a couple of thousand, then you're going to be paying essentially 700, maybe another $100, so 800, maybe $900, to accommodate that landlord's property tax increase as well. So that's something to be cognizant of. But I thought I'd bring those two pieces of legislation. That particular one was put in by Delegate Smith, renter property tax relief program. So excited about those changes that are happening there in Annapolis. And excited about all of you mayors on the line here as we are celebrating again our Municipal Government Works Month. We are highlighting some of the works that the mayors are doing, and we've got all kinds of programming that we're doing. What are you guys doing for the holiday season? You're getting ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Veterans Day on Monday.
Veterans Day, that's right.
Veterans Day on Monday.
Veterans Day on Monday. The holiday season is coming, and I just would be remiss if I just did not put in a plug for our health disparities. We have to do a little bit more in our health disparities. We're still in our pandemic, and we're still here. So I want to make sure that we are getting a little bit better with it. But remember, 2 years ago, we weren't gathered all together for Thanksgiving. We weren't gathered all together for Christmas. So let us all be sure that we practice our safety procedures, and when we come together, because we're unmasking a little bit now. We're unmasking, so just be careful. But I do want the municipal government to still work on our health disparities.
And that's
Absolutely.
a good point. Mm-hmm.
And we're going to make sure that everybody that comes to my house on Thanksgiving is vaxxed. All of the vaccines.
Yes. Don't forget your boosters. Your boosters are out
That's
there.
right,
Don't forget your boosters.
Definitely. I had all
Don't
four.
forget your boosters. Absolutely.
I had all my shots, got my flu shot today.
Oh, you did?
Absolutely.
Well,
And that's another good point, because many people are not getting the flu shot because they're getting the COVID shot and not sure if they can get both of them at the same time.
They can get both of them at the same time.
Exactly. Please get your flu shot. The flu is alive and well.
Yeah. And the
I
thing
don't
is,
need my mask.
if you get the flu, you won't know whether it's flu or COVID.
You're right.
It's actually the same thing, isn't it?
No,
it can be the same symptoms. Yes.
Yeah, same symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will tell you this. I just looked up another dental coverage for adults. So I want to highlight that as well, dental coverage. And then with that, the legislation for cannabis for age 18 and higher can purchase, legally the use and possession of cannabis.
You mean I smoke a joint?
18 years and older. Well, let's see. Let's see. I think it's 21. Yeah, so 21. Let's go with 21.
Yeah.
I think 21. I can make it. Let me ask you a question about that dental plan you just mentioned. What?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me more about that? You're looking at it?
Yes, sir. I'm looking at it. So the Maryland Medical Assistance Program dental coverage for adults. It requires that Maryland Medical Assistance Program beginning January 1st of 2023, subject to certain limitations, provide dental service, including diagnostics, preventive, restorative, periodontical services, as well as adults for annual households that income at least or at below 133% of the federal poverty level. It repeals certain provisions of law requiring the implementation of a pilot program to provide limited dental coverage to adults. So you have to be at or below 133% of the federal poverty level.
Well, that includes a lot of us.
Yeah, it does.
That includes a lot of us. So can you send that to us? Would you mind sending that to us, please?
I sure will.
Mayor Cross.
No problem. 133% looks like it's a roughly number of people in your household. And I'm just going to pull the 22 numbers. And that was for one person, was $1,506. For 2 people in the household, $2,029, and 3 people in the household, $2,552. So that's that 133%.
So what does that translate into income? Do you know?
What's that, weekly? What's that, I mean, monthly?
Got it.
I'm gonna check those numbers.
That's gotta be 2 weeks. Or you can't have no shoes.
That's right. Yeah.
You're funny.
That's
Let me
right. You
check
gotta be
these
barefoot when you walk in.
Right.
We've included the multiple percentages below the several programs, percentages income program. Let's see. Annual income. Annual income.
Annual income. Yeah. What is it?
So annual income for one person is 18,754.
Yeah, they have no shoes.
Yeah, they have
2
no
people.
shoes.
Yeah, 2 people would be $25,268. And let's just go at the largest number. 8 people would be $62,018. So if you got 8 people in the house, you can't make over 62,000 roughly dollars, and you can get free dental coverage.
Oh,
I
well,
guess so.
the homeless can get it.
I know it. The homeless
There
can
you
get it
go.
because that, I mean, you have to be very, and I think we need to look at, they need to really, really look at a lot of these numbers because, I mean, you cannot have no shoes.
Yeah,
No.
there you go.
You know what I mean? You just can't afford to buy no shoes. That's just
That's
the way
right.
it is. I mean, that is really, really poor. And where can you live? You can't live.
see-
Where can you live?
That's
Well,
right.
I think you have to have inherited the house, and then you're just paying the taxes,
Right. You know?
right? Mhm.
You can't even pay the taxes on that.
Yeah, that's right.
You take half your money, don't it?
That's right. You gotta be living
So-
on the corner under the bench.
But send it to
But
us.
that's what we have.
Send it to us, and it may be something that we can do as mayors to help. You know, we have our legislators and we have a new government. We can change things. We definitely can change things.
We
Yeah, I like that
definitely
too.
can.
Mhm.
And that's January the 1st of 2023.
Okay.
That was put in place by, let's see, it had a lot of sponsors: Delegate Colson, McKay, Pendergrass, Bagnall, et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot of sponsors on this one. Very good. Landis is on here as well. Very nicely done. Well, but you're absolutely right. That's the dental coverage for adults. I'll be sure and send this out. And I'm see if there's anything else that I think that could be important for us on this call as we're talking about Municipal Government Works Month. And I've reached the end of our I think property taxes was the last one. So I'll make sure, mayors, I send this out to us. Thank you all again. I really have enjoyed our Mayoral Community Forum. It's been a rich discussion. Last words, Mayor Petrilla Robinson.
My last words is that everybody have happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, and everybody be safe, and definitely go get your COVID shots and your flu shots and your shingle shots. And how many more shots? We got a whole
Every
bunch
shot
of
there
shots
is.
we got to do. We got a lot of shots we got to do. So everybody go get your shots, okay?
That's right. Get fired up.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I remember when we was in the military and we had to get the anthrax shot, the flu shot, and the other shot. I said, wait a minute, I can't get too many more of these. Yellow fever. When was the yellow fever?
They got pneumonia shots. They got everything there.
That's right.
So
Shingle
just
shots, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So stay in your doctor's office.
They got a shot for everything.
Yes.
Good word. Mayor Nimhart, last words, ma'am.
Yeah, if we want to talk about shots, Scott Uncle sent a letter for us mayors thanking us for the shot that we gave him, and it's none of the COVID shot. But he wanted to thank us all for the presentation we gave to him. But I just wanted to say happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, make sure you are safe with it. I still don't leave my mask anywhere, so I've seen a lot of people sniffing and stuffing, but I don't leave my mask. I walked into the veteran celebration today, and I felt weird because I was the only one that had on a mask.
Oh.
And COVID, the flu, the respiratory viruses are out there in living color. So please take care of yourself. And I know for us here, we are not doing the food distribution. We're giving everybody $100, up to $250,000 worth of gift cards for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. That way they can buy what they need, and also the businesses in New Carlton will be able to benefit from that. So that's what we'll be doing over here. And for our veteran celebration, we're pushing it over into December, only to make sure that we could get the families overseas to be able to attend. And we'll be at Peace Cross 11/11 at 11 a.m. for the rededication of the Peace Cross. And that's all I have.
Oh, fantastic.
I will see
Mayor
you there.
Crossland.
Well, I want to thank you, folks. I want you to have a great evening. I am going to get a shot just before I go into this next meeting. Different kind of shot.
Well, I want to say thank you all to all the mayors, to Mayor Porter. I hope you're enjoying your work day, sir. It was a pleasure speaking with each of you. We do get a lot of fun, and I'll make sure I send you all of those legislations that we talked about this evening so you can get those out to your population. I want to acknowledge Glenarden American Legion. They will be having a Veterans Day service November the 11th at 11 a.m. It will be at the American Legion Post 275, 8201 Glenarden Parkway, Glenarden, Maryland. We would be happy to have you all there. We have us a new commander. Our commander, Miss Felicia Powell. So this will be her first Veterans Day service. Mayor Cross will be doing an introduction for her. There's a lot of movement happening at the American Legion this year, and they just did a cowboy rodeo benefit program. I remember what I have to do, Mayor Robinson. I have to do a proclamation for the Boys and Girls Club. So they are pushing hard to get our young folks in the Boys and Girls Clubs of America's, essentially teach you about your government, and it teaches you about boys state, girls state, and all of those types of things. I was fortunate to, when I was a young pup, to be the Secretary of State for the state of Mississippi as a girl state attendee. So I, as a veteran myself, have a heartbeat for the veteran services. But we will be doing our Give Thanks, and we'll be giving our Giving Tuesday, and we're prepping for the first gifts of Christmas, December 3rd at the Municipal Center, the Gold Room, and we'll be doing the Polar Express, all aboard the Polar Express of Glenarden. Well, I thank you again. I'm Mayor
I would like to,
Cashenna
can I say, Mayor
Yes,
Cross,
ma'am.
could I say that the Maryland Black Mayors Inc. is having a holiday mixer? Please get in touch with Mayor Nimard is here, the president is here. It will be over at town of Forest Heights to get all your information. And please RSV, all of you, Mayor Crossland, Mayor Cross, all of y'all RSV for that, and be there and let us have good cheer.
Was a notice sent out?
The notice was the notice sent out, Mayor Nimhart? I don't think the notice was sent out yet. It's not to December the 8th,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I think it's not to December
super.
the 8th, but put it on your calendar. It's December the 8th. That I know it's that day.
Fantastic.
All right.
Okay.
All right, we look forward to it. All right, I'm Mayor Cashenna Cross. Everybody keep moving the mission forward. I love my mayors. Y'all have
Thank
a
you for your
wonderful evening.
service. All right.
Good night, folks.
Bye-bye,
I gotta get
everybody.